Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second anniversary episode of the All Elite Podcast, presented to you right here on the No Holds Barred Network. We have a jam-packed show for all of you today, so we hope you enjoy the show, interact with us and everyone in the live chat, and most importantly, help us celebrate 2 years. That's right, 2 years of this podcast that we have embarked on the No Holds Barred Network with myself and Tiffany. Some big announcements will happen on the show, which will affect the podcast as you know it. Also, we'll be announcing some great content on the way soon to the No Holds Barred Network Patreon account. So make sure you sign up for as little as $1 a month. That's right, $1 a month. Gets you access to all the exclusive content coming to the network very soon. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this announcement since earlier this month, so our biggest fan contest to date will be happening tonight on the show, where we'll be giving away a $100 gift card to shopaew.com to one lucky fan out there. It could be you. So all you have to do is pay attention on how to enter right now. Now, if you don't know how to enter, it's going to be quite simple. Watch tonight's show, and at a random time, a catchphrase will pop up on screen. Once you see it, write it down, enjoy the rest of the show, and after, head on over to Twitter. Make sure you are following the Twitter account at All Elite Pod, and in a tweet, what you're going to want to do is put in the catchphrase, and then you're going to want to hashtag AEP, and then you're wanting to hashtag as well All Elite Podcast. Make sure you are putting in both those hashtags in your tweet so we can look it up and write you guys down for the contest with that catchphrase. On Monday, we will take everyone who entered, place them in a random draw, which will be simulated live on YouTube on Monday night. The draw winner will receive a $100 Shop AEW gift card from us. So make sure you pay attention, guys, and make sure you're also following the Twitter account for the All Elite Podcast, and that is at All Elite Pod. And make sure you're putting in the two hashtags, hashtag AEW and AEP and hashtag All Elite Podcast. Now, this wouldn't be an All Elite Podcast without some AEW discussions and analysis by yours truly, the self-proclaimed greatest host, and Tiffany, the Queen of the Indies. We'll get to some discussions about last night's AEW Dynamite, as well as sprinkle in a little bit of AEW Dark and being the Elite talk. The Elite. All right, back to the show, Kyle. So make sure you guys join in on the discussion in the live chat, and we'll read out your questions live on the air. So crack those fingers and get ready to type in your questions. Lastly, but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have been teasing it for weeks as well. The debut of our brand new logo, and it will happen on this show. In fact, it is how we're going to open the show in I'd say 10 seconds starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second anniversary episode of the All Elite Podcast right here in the No Holds Barred Network. We are here, Tiff. It's our second anniversary, and look, right below us, the debut of our brand new logo.
Oh
I'm
my.
hyped, guys. This is going to be a massive show. We have so much planned for this show. And of course, with that freaking intro, nothing can go right for me. Not even our second anniversary can live streaming go right. This whole pandemic has been a crapshoot. Even when we want to celebrate good times, come on. No, everything has to go wrong. Wrong. But I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. So much is going to happen with this show. We have, this brand new logo that I've created for us. We have the fan contest that's going to happen. We have some announcements also. And it's just going to be a really fun show. I mean, it's been a hell of a 2 years between me and Tiff. Clearly, with all the ups and downs that we've had on this podcast, whether it be like today and recently through this pandemic, all the live streaming issues we go through, or just other stuff in general, we've gone through a roller coaster of stuff, Tiff.
I know.
Like, so much. But guys, if you're new and you're joining us for the first time on the All Elite podcast, welcome. It's for myself and Tiffany over here. Go through, talk about everything in AEW world. We talk about Dynamite, Dark, BTE. I'm known as the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters. She's known by a lot of names, okay? She's got so many nicknames. She's mostly known as the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, that's for sure, and the Queen of the Indies herself. That's Tiffany.
It's not complete without the
crown. Oh my God.
It is the second anniversary. The crown needs to come out.
Hey, I wore the blazer today.
You wore the blazer.
You can even wear my blazer.
Look at you. I love it. Like, what is going on? I can't believe all the people in our chats right now. Like, you guys are awesome. Share the screen.
Share the screen.
Share the screen.
So grab your screen and go to your neighbor's house and be like, look at this. Look at it. Share it.
Here's the screen. Anyway, you'll see if you're new here that you can see like I talk really fucked up. So
whoa, she's swearing right off the bat. Strike.
It's a shame, Bell.
That's okay. Oh, I have it. Trust me. For the second anniversary, it's still here. If you guys are new, we like to shame each other all the time here on this podcast. Tiff still got to get a bell, but
yeah, I gotta order one. Wait, maybe I should do this like live.
Not right now. Okay.
Why not?
We don't want the stream to crash. We're gonna do whatever we have on right now. We're keeping it because we're good so far.
I'm not on that computer. Okay. I have the laptop. I can order. I can do multiple things. Okay. I'm gonna type in Shane Bell. Like, you hear me? Like, I'm typing in Shane Bell right now.
You know, it's actually funny because downstairs right now, I actually have a bell that's like 10 times the size of this I was gonna use for the podcast, but for the ears of our audio listeners, I couldn't put them through that hell because it's so loud. It's one of those like giant cowbells I found it the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, this would be a perfect shame bell, but ears.
I can't.
Ears are a thing, but thank you guys. I can see you guys all typing in the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. The opening was great. I know, created that today, believe it or not. I had another intro ready to go, but I have like bad OCD. I wasn't happy with it, so I created a new one in 2 hours and got that done.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But yeah. Again, Tiff, been an incredible 2 years. So guys, again, this huge contest we're about to have. The main part, as you guys seen of this contest, you're gonna want to make sure you are following us on Twitter. It's gonna pop up here on screen right below me, right there. Follow us on Twitter at All Elite Pod. And make sure when the catchphrase comes up, you write it down, watch the end of the show, watch the rest of us. Don't just leave, watch the rest of the show. And then after, go and tweet out the catchphrase with the official hashtags as well. So make sure you are following us on Twitter. And it'll be later in the show. Again, you're going to want to pay attention to the screen. Look at me and Tiff's beautiful, symmetrical faces.
I'm trying to see if there's a glitter bell because the queen needs bling. Okay, like I'm all blinged out today. Like I need bling. Let's see.
Bling. The glitter bell. Wow.
No. If not, I can bedazzle it.
But guys, let us know how you guys feel about the brand new logo, the All Elite Podcast logo. Decided to freshen it up a little bit, change up a little bit, and I'm gonna put it up on screen so you guys have a comparison if you guys are not. If you guys are new to the podcast, so I'll put it up on the screen so you can look at it too once it comes up. So on the right, obviously, you're going to see the new logo, and then we have the new, I guess you can call alternate logo with the short form. That's what those are going to look like, so you guys know that it's going to be us officially with those two logos. And then there's the old ones on the left. I know, rest in peace, sad. We've had those logos since the start of this podcast, but you know what? 2 years marks a fresh start, and we're going to freshen it up.
I can't believe we've been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Literally, it was this past Monday was our official 2 years.
We've come a long way, like with a lot of things between layouts, logos, like it's.
Well, I could have done a slideshow with all the different layouts I did because I think I have them saved in a folder.
I think that was like our 100 episode. Like you did like a lot. We did a lot of clips. So if you guys didn't see, if you go back to our 100 episode, you'll see like a whole bunch of like best of clips of like me and Kyle throughout AEP, which is just amazing. But
I wasn't ready to do that again. It was too much.
No, we're gonna save that for 200.
Maybe.
You know, we're gonna save it. So
200.
the next from 100 to 200, we'll do like best of clips. So.
Anyways.
What? Because I always like clip things. It's just
yeah. You were a clipping fiend back in the day.
Yeah, I was. I guess we're not as funny that I haven't been clipping.
Suck. We're boring. We're like those other podcasts that come on here and go.
I'm tired of you, Kyle. Like
All Elite podcast.
It was
my
nice
name,
knowing you,
my
Kyle.
name is Kyle Masters, and this is my co-host Tiffany. Tiffany. Oh, we had an exciting episode of Dynamite last night. Can you imagine if we were like that? I don't think we'd have any listeners. Maybe. People enjoy NPR out there, so, maybe they love that. Or I can come right close to the mic and we can have some of this ASMR, whatever that's called.
Oh, man. Kim just said Bella made Senzo a bedazzled stapler. Sure, she can make you a cowbell for you. Yes.
Now, I do see else in the chat, our friend Metal there. Now, you can't buy me that because I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna wear it. B, if I see it in the mail, I will run away.
First of all, if a fan is buying you a t-shirt, Kyle, you have to wear it on the podcast.
Well, why did you buy me a Kenny Omega t-shirt or Sean Spears or or go over to Pro Wrestling and give me a Will Ospreay t-shirt? Not an Abaddon.
Nobody cares about that. Everybody wants to see you wearing an Abaddon shirt.
No.
Yes.
If I open that shit in the mail, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna throw it back at the mailman. I'm gonna let you take the shit. Yeet.
Listen, I've tortured Kyle enough with getting the 100 signatures for him to meet.
I should have made that higher. Just looking at it back. And if you guys don't know.
Because you never trust me. You never think I can get anything done. And don't I always come through when I say that I'm going to do something? You should know by now, within the 4 years that we've been friends, that I make everything possible.
No, you guys in chat, stop. You're not buying me Abaddon shirts. Like, that's not a thing. That's not happening. No. Not happening.
Want to buy you a shirt,
I don't want to wear an Abaddon shirt. I don't want to see that shit on my chest. I like this cool Kyle Masters Elite shirt, but you can buy me another one of those.
Yes. If it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't be here. Like, so the fans want to buy you a shirt, Kyle.
I do sacrifice for the fans. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was Metal actually that made me take a shot at maple syrup on the 100th episode of All Elite Podcast. So I do sacrifice for the fans. But this is a sacrifice I'm not willing to make. Okay?
It's just how it is. It's just how it is on the Hold Bar Network. It's like you have to roll with punches.
She scares the living shit out of me. Okay? People don't know. Abaddon scares the living crap out of me. I can't with her. Anyways, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler or anything. Don't get misconstrued,
I really wanted Abaddon to be the champion because I would have just loved your reaction with her being the champion. Like, that's what I really wanted, just for that, just so that you could come on Oli podcast and like freak the hell out.
See, that would
all
suck.
I really wanted.
That would suck because we complain, or we don't complain, but we criticize when rightful criticism because there's not enough women's matches. If she was a champion, she'd be on every week. So I don't want that. I'd rather have my girl Tay Conti win a title belt and see her on Dynamite every week. She's amazing.
Brad said, whoever wins this card for the $100 worth has to get to buy $100 worth of Abaddon shirt.
I see that not happening. Like, get that out of your head. Spend it on something for yourself, please. Don't buy me anything with that card. Please don't do that. Because, no, just don't do that. Anyways, anywho, Rihu, like we do here. So that was a big thing. The logo, going with a fresh look. I really love this logo. I did such a good job, and I'm getting better and better. And if you guys don't know, all the graphics on All Elite Podcast, and Tiff has been getting good at doing thumbnails for Under the Ropes with layouts. We're self-taught. Like, we didn't go to graphic school. We didn't go to anything. I literally watched either YouTube tutorials or just self-taught myself. So I'm getting better and better. I'm getting better at the logos too. I created a Fiverr account, but haven't had any hits, but that doesn't bother me. Anywho, Rihu. Yeah, so the big logos, the one announcement. Again, the fan contest. If you guys are just joining in, you missed the intro. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Couple of steps here to enter in the fan contest. Make sure you're watching the show, watching the screen. Look out for the catchphrase. It's going to come out on the side there in the bottom left side of the screen. Make sure you write down. Enjoy the rest of the show, please, and then follow us on Twitter after at All Elite Pod, and then tweet out the catchphrase using the hashtags AEP and All Elite Podcast as well. And you guys will be drawing on Monday. And don't worry, don't fret, you UK fans. I know we have a bunch of UK fans that listen and watch. I know they're watching back right now. Don't worry, you have till Monday to enter the contest. You're going to be watching this probably on the weekend. And then Monday, I believe I'm probably going to send a tweet out saying Monday by 9 a.m. Eastern. Monday, the contest will close, and then I'll draw Monday night. So look out for that tweet. Other than that, Tiff, another announcement we got to make here. So for all you wondering about the No Holds Barred Network Patreon, and if you haven't, make sure head on over, support the network. Shameless plug here. The $1 a month. You saw in the intro the guy with the $1 taped to his mouth. $1 gets you a bunch of exclusive content. Me and Tiff are going to be pumping out more free for all soon, and we actually have a special surprise guest on an upcoming free for all. You guys are not going to want to miss. We're not going to reveal who yet, so it'll be a surprise for you. Let's just say it's big and wrestling related. That's all we're going to say. Anywho, Rihu, gaming content coming to the Patreon exclusive page. So I'm going to do a I can't even speak English, once a month thing on the network. It's going to be monthly simulated wrestling pay-per-views, and it's going to be called the Ultimate Fantasy Wrestling Championship. Yes, that's right. A monthly wrestling simulated pay-per-view with fantasy-type matches, and guess what? You patrons out there get to vote on the matches you want to see. I will get the characters made, I will get the movesets in, and I will get the matches simulated once a month, pay-per-view style events. It'll be posted on Patreon, and you won't have to wait very long for the very first one because it is happening this month, Sunday, January 14th at 9 p.m. on Patreon, the UFWC Night of Champions. The first pay-per-view will be on there. So all you patrons that are signed up right now get to vote on a fantasy match you want to see done in simulated form, and I'll get it out to you guys on there. So make sure you're signing up for the No Holds Barred Network Patreon. Again, as little as $1 a month gets you exclusive access to stuff like this and more that you don't see for free on the No Holds Barred Network.
Some funny stuff up there.
Up there, or out there? On there.
Out there in the clouds.
In the clouds.
Yeah,
the free-for-alls are fun. Me and Tiff kind of... You see a different side of me and Tiff. We're kind of, and it's, pun intended, we're no holds barred on there. We swear more times than we do on here. We're just very, very crazy on these podcasts. It's literally about anything and everything, pop culture. We just talk about everything on there. And so far, it's been so fun. I think we've done 3 episodes so far.
Chicken cutlets.
The last episode, chicken cutlets. That's all we're going to say. You're going to have to sign up and tune in for what that was about. That was, interesting topic, chicken cutlets. No, we're not talking about the poultry. Anywho, Rihu. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Everybody wants Abaddon in the first match, just so you know.
Great. I didn't think about that. Didn't think about that.
What?
You know why? Whatever. I'm gonna have to do it. If the patrons want it, it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna have to suffer through it. It's only once a month. That's okay. Anywho, anything else I want to talk about? You know, Tiff got a new Under the Ropes logo I made for her. That's something that we can talk about. If you guys haven't seen it, she posted a post on her Twitter account, so go check out. It's right above her head there at Loves to Dream 82. Follow her up on there on the Twitter and check out the new Under the Ropes logo. She's gonna be doing more interviews coming. Actually, I think she's got one tonight or tomorrow.
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
With Matt McIntosh. So I'm excited.
Okay.
Matt McIntosh. So it's all independent wrestling related when it comes to the Under the Ropes series. Everything positive, people you might not know, people you might know, behind the scenes, anything related to independent wrestling is really what Under the Ropes is all about. So yes, so that's happening next week.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's talk about AEW.
Yes, let's do it.
We're 20 minutes in here. We had our announcements. We got everything out in the open there. You know, we got the intro. We got the new intro too. That was the music video for Dead to Me, which is by this wolf, Darren, our buddy Darren. Thank you again for letting us use that theme song for the last 2 years. You're amazing for letting us use that. And now we're going to incorporate your music video into the intro now going forward, and the outro. I already have an outro done for us starting today. But again, thank you, Darren. You mean the world to us. It's amazing that you let us use that song. So thank you again for that. But yeah, new logo, announcements. We're good. We'll get to AEW. People want to hear us talk about AEW. That's basically what this podcast is about.
Yes, talk about it.
BT is getting better. Just saying.
BT was too long, in my opinion. Like, not for nothing. I have to be honest with you. When it becomes that long, it makes me not want to watch it. I miss the old, and I know I've been saying this for a while, and I know a lot of people agree with me. I miss old BTE. I miss like the beginning of like the 8 minutes, the 10-minute episodes. That's like enough. And we're not really getting much of like Matt and Nick of like what we used to get.
They can't travel, right? Because of COVID. Yeah. So what are they going to do?
I know, but like. So
that the Dark Order stuff's been great. I love the whole, this week, remember the New Year's resolution table where they're like, they did like the whole like sequence where they looked up into the sky into like the imaginary bubble and looked into the past, and then they had the table read and Anna Jay saying, "I think I'm going to be nicer to Stu." Yeah. Later on, like, fuck you actually Stu.
You think that's actually going to ever happen?
Stu Probably is forever not. Tormented by Anna Jay.
Maybe they'll end up together on like a BTE episode in the future.
But then Hangman like going through the curtain goes, guys, you know it's the 27th, and then they all blame 5.
Yeah, I died.
It's good. I don't know. I still enjoy it. There's still some parts that are longer than others. I mean, it was a tad long this week, but I enjoyed everything on it this week. Some episodes are long because they'll pick like one thing and it'll take up like 3/4 of the episode.
Yeah.
This week we got, we got the locker room stuff with the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy. That was funny. They gave him a new room, but it ended up being like the coach's room.
I wonder what's going to happen like going forward.
Yeah.
Like, is next week we're going to see like the coaches coming to the room looking for it?
That, or like they go to like the old room and it's like trashed, or maybe they can't go in. Maybe someone else took over that room.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? I like the Dark Order's room though.
That's huge. How come how is that not the EVP room?
Because it's got a bar in it. Like, so like, they don't
I know
drink,
that's the room
they're
like next to the stands.
As fuck.
Yeah, that's the one next to the stands. Like that's the room that Sting and Darby came out of together a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I don't know. Last week, I think.
I don't know. But yeah.
And then Dark's Dark. I mean, not really much to talk about. There's people showing up on Dark new now. And then some of our regular Dark people are there. You know, shout outs to Danny Limelight, who went from Dark to Dynamite this week, which is a cool thing. And he was so happy about it. He's so humble. So friend of the podcast, Danny Limelight.
It's crazy. So if you guys like don't know anything about Danny Limelight, I had the opportunity to interview him on Under the Ropes. So if you want to learn more about Danny Limelight, just go on Under the Ropes series on the No Holds Barred Network, and he's on there. So it's kind of cool to see. And we've had other people on the podcast that has been on Dark. So like to actually watch him go from Dark to Dynamite. Never mind the fact that he's doing No Japan Dojo, and like to see them like, in these interviews and see them on TV is so crazy to me.
Yeah, he's very humble, very nice guy, and it's cool that he's getting a shot. He got to wrestle Kenny Omega and the club like that, or the Good Brothers. Like that was pretty cool. That should have been a really cool moment for him. Even if this is his last Dynamite appearance, I think now like, this is not it for him. Like this was just a stepping stone. Like this was a really cool endorsement to be put in that type of match. I know they got squashed, but like it was still really cool. It was a good match too. But so shout outs to Danny Limelight. The show was good. I thought it was a decent episode of Dynamite. A lot of brawling, which I think that's kind of like what AEW's thing is now, right? Like I think they're trying to make that their thing. They do a lot of brawls, and I think it's one thing we're gonna have to try to get used to, because they do a lot of these like backstage brawls. They do a lot of these like in the ring brawls. I think it's something that we're gonna have to get used to. And you know who loves it? Someone caught it on Twitter and then posted it not too long ago, like a few hours ago. John Moxley looked at the camera during that whole one brawl, and he's like, "I love this shit." And he looked right at the camera and he said that, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So
I feel like
the wrestlers are having fun.
Those are the little moments that are so important when it comes to wrestling. And, I talk about it even in independent wrestling. Like when you're sitting there and you're watching these guys and you're like, wow, like you're watching them have fun too. Like it's everything. So I feel like those are such important moments in wrestling to capture, because at the end of the day, they're just like us. They're just normal people. So.
But what'd you think of Dynamite in a whole, like from start to finish?
As a whole,
part two of
feel like the first hour was definitely better than the second hour, in my opinion. I was hyped because like I feel like it started off really hot. But I feel like how it ended, like for me personally, that shouldn't have been the main event. I get it, but it shouldn't have been the main event. Like I put that tweet out last night that I felt like Pac versus Eddie Kingston should have been main event last night.
Yeah, or I thought they would end with the Kenny Omega one, but I mean, I know it's.
I mean, I get that, but not really. I just feel like, Pac and Eddie Kingston, I feel like this has been something that we've been wanting for a while. And I felt like this was pay-per-view worthy of a match. And I was hyped to like, it got me really excited to watch Dynamite, but I felt like it went like this to me. Like it kind of went like down, but I feel like that should have been, I mean, I get it. Start off hot, get us all like into Dynamite, which it did, but I don't know. I just feel like it should have reversed. Me personally, again, like I said, I feel like this should have been main event.
So let's discuss this. If you were booking the show and now we've seen all the matches, what would you have put first out of all of them? What would you have opened Dynamite with then?
I don't know.
See?
I probably would have reversed. I probably would have put Darby versus Brian Cage to open.
With Sting? Yeah, I mean, it was. I'll agree with this. It was a weird main event. I didn't think they were going to go in that direction for the main event. I know it's a title match, and they want to make the TNT Championship very prestigious and mean a lot, and that makes sense to put it in the main event. It kind of seems like they're sharing the wealth with main event.
Yeah.
I think there's so many good feuds going on now. It's really tough to pick out which one should be your main event by week by week, which I think should be your main title. Not because I'm Kenny Omega bias here. I'm just saying that your main championship should probably end the show off every week unless there's a reason why it's so
but he wasn't like defending it himself. So with the fact of
he doesn't have to defend it. He's the main champion, so he should be in your main event every week. You build the show around your main champion.
I don't know.
And
I don't know. I think if he was doing a singles match, then I think it should end that way. That I get. But because of the fact that it was a 3-on-3 match, then no.
But there was a lot more than that. Like John Moxley came out, then the Bucks came out, and then there's that whole thing.
But I don't think it was
then
big
the
enough.
Lucha Brothers came out, and then they super kicked the Yama. So what do the Lucha Brothers have to do with this now?
But I feel like it was too much to end Dynamite. Like that, everything like that you just said, like to me, it just didn't make sense for that.
But they've done that before.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I think me personally, like I wouldn't have been happy like if it went that way. Me, like I said, me personally, I would have liked Pac versus Eddie Kingston because I think I think I'm more invested in that because I felt like there was a story building more there that I've been wanting to see that I thought was going to go to a pay-per-view. But
now what?
Now I feel like we're going to go like 3-on-3 matches now.
Well, to me, I don't think so because now the Lucha Brothers are putting their feet in the Kenny Omega situation with the Bucks.
So then also you got on top of that you got like Archer, like so is Archer and Pac next? But I was more invested. Like I'm not invested in that. I'm more invested with Pac versus Kingston.
Well, I'm kind of invested in. The only reason I'm invested right now in if Pac and Archer are going to go forward is I know this was taped Dynamite clearly because Lance Archer tweeted out a picture of all his hair gone. What? So did he shave that thing off? Is he bald? Like, what's going on?
Clean.
I want to know. I can't. It's weird how you can't picture a guy who has little hair bald. You know what I mean?
When you get like used to it, like the ponytail and all that, you're like,
but it's gone. Like did you see the picture he tweeted?
No, I didn't see it.
He literally tweeted a picture of all his hair on the ground, and he's like, well. And I'm like, what? If you're looking this up, Tiff's gonna look it up. I'm like, what the heck? Anyways, I don't know. I guess the argument's there, and everyone has their opinions on what should have main evented the show, and that's good. Like that just kind of shows that there's so much good happening on Dynamite that anything could have probably everyone has an opinion of what should have ended the show.
Right.
So it's it's also seen as a good thing. I don't know if you've seen the picture just now. Did you look at it?
I didn't see it. No.
Okay, I'll have to show it to you after. But
all right, that's fine.
Anywho, we want to talk about the big mess. The one point in the show, and I don't know where they're going with this.
All right, which one are we talking about now?
It should be clear as day what big mess I'm talking about. The inner circle, like that's, like what are they doing? Like there's so much happened in that mess, and it's so every time they come out, it's like I'm waiting for the point, and I'm waiting for something good to happen from it, but it's just like chaos after chaos and after chaos. And it just ends so lackluster. Like, I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're trying to get across. But, like...
they're going to break up. That's, like, what's going to happen.
Just do it already.
I know. It's like that slow build that it needs to happen. And it's
it's too long. How long have they been doing this for?
Ortiz and Santana need to go their way and become, top on tag team champions.
So now there's like 3 teams within the inner circle with Wardlow on the outside.
So stupid. Like, why? It doesn't even make any sense. Me personally, like, I can't stand Hager.
Sammy Hager.
It's like, why? Like, I'm writing Kyle on the side of like, why? Like, I just can't. And so now he's with Sammy.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And of course, everybody popped when Sammy called Jericho a slut. A tag team slut. Like, it was really funny. But I
just don't.
I liked Sammy with Jericho.
They're just teasing too much of a breakup. They're just teasing it too much. Just do it. They've been doing it for like a month and a half, almost 2 months now. Just do it already. Like, yeah. What else do you have to do? Like, it's almost like they're coming up with something, then they scrap it and come out the next week, and it's something completely different. I feel like it's getting dry very quickly. Like
that's what it is. It's getting stale. We're getting bored. Dark Order is now the new faction that everybody is behind. So you need to start putting some gold on Dark Order, in my opinion. But I know that's not going to happen anytime soon. But they should. They should put something on Dark Order.
They just split now. Have Santana Ortiz go back in the tag team division. have, I don't know what you do with the rest. You know, I don't know where MJF goes from there. Maybe he feuds with Sammy Guevara or something. But, you know, later down the line, maybe there's a moment where they all get back together. You know what I mean? Like, that'll mean something special. Maybe you wait until there's crowd again and everything's kind of a little bit back to normal and you're traveling. So, I think they just need to pull the trigger on the breakup. Because, like, even if they didn't break up and they kind of, like, it's almost certain that they're going to now with MJF in the picture. Unless they make up and they kick MJF out, even at that point, what do you want to see from the Inner Circle if MJF's not in the picture? Like, nothing. Like, what are they going to do? I think it's done. It's run its course. You break up. Maybe eventually down the line you come together for like a one-off, or maybe you have more ideas at that point. But right now, it's just like when they come out, it's getting, and I hate to say this, it's getting close to channel changing, grab my phone, let me go through Twitter kind of stuff, where I can go through Twitter and just have it playing in the background and not pay attention. And I'll be okay. It's not going to ruin the show for me. It's treading. It's not there yet. It's treading that direction. I don't want it to get in that direction. I want them to do something with this. And they teased Santana and Ortiz getting back together because when they brought up the tag team titles, they were the first to speak. So I hope that happens and they get back in it, because I think we're missing, like, LAX, Proud and Powerful, whatever you want to call them. We're missing them in the tag team division, man.
I mean, I know a lot was going on personally with them or whatever, but like, like now it's time. Like I talked about it at their episode where we were giving like the best of, and I just loved Ortiz and Santana versus the Best Friends. Like it was like one of my favorite matches of 2020. And it's like, here's people that I've seen in the independent scene. Like they're that good. And I need to see more of them. Like I would love to see them move up in the tag team division. So I don't know what's going to happen next week. Some of the resolutions were funny though, but like, I just love it. Was Ortiz that he was talking about the arroz con gandulas and the
I don't know what that means.
Sofrito. It's yellow rice with gandula beans. So
gandula, ooh,
gandulas.
Because you say it like that, it makes me want to have it. The gandula, ooh, spicy.
It's not spicy.
It sounds spicy.
Lord.
Oh my Lord.
April, help him.
Anyways, you know what's missing from the Inner Circle? It's a little bit too late. A female factor.
Well,
I think they could have used a female like role in the Inner Circle, but it's a little too late now. Don't you agree? Like it was. I think it was. That's probably what it was maybe missing.
No, I don't think so. I don't know, because like now, like you have Anna Jay with Dark Orders. I mean, yeah. So like you don't want it all to be the same. And we were really behind the Inner Circle. Like I said, I just think it's getting stale and it needs to break up. And now it's time for everybody to shine on their own, I feel like. But that's my, my thought process on it.
Thought process. But speaking of women, the NWA Women's title match was as good as expected. You had Serena Deeb, who we knew how good she was. People that may not know about Tay Conti have certainly gotten to know how good she is, maybe through Dark and some of her Dynamite matches. This was a very good mat wrestling type of match, and it was very clean, and it was awesome. This was a very, very well done women's match. I'm just pissed because the one part when they went to commercial said, "Oh, we're going to be in our restaurant, quality picture-in-picture." No, you didn't. Not on my side. I went to commercial. I didn't see shit.
Tay got so much better though. Me and Kyle were very big on her in NXT when she was in NXT. So to see her come young.
Man, she is going to be very good. Like very, very good. Her judo background is paying off big time.
Right. And
Serena Deeb is just like, she's so good at her age. Like she's so fast and can work with anybody. Like she's perfect, and it's great that she's on our roster, but technically the NWA champion, which is still kind of, I don't know if that's weird now. Like, is that still weird that she's still hanging on to that belt, or is that just like free publicity? Like I when I heard this match, I'm like, oh yeah, Serena Deeb is NWA champion. I totally forgot.
Because it's supposed to be an NWA thing. Like,
But then they're doing this whole thing with Impact. So, like, what's going on there? Anyways, good match. Obviously, Serena Deeb picked up the victory. Very close. But, again, made Tan Conti look very good. She's got a big future in this company. Both girls, even Anna Jay, both have a big future with this company. They're both very young. Can't wait to see them in this division grow. Another women thing, we had the waiting room. Okay, so, like,
oh my god,
the waiting room was good. Okay, if you guys haven't seen the waiting room, this is your first time. It's actually good. Don't let this episode of Dynamite give you like your take on the waiting room, because out of all the stuff on Dark, the waiting room has been gold. I loved the waiting room on Dark. I loved watching it. I hate how this was the Dynamite debut and it was so bad. It was so bad.
The thing that I loved is that when Cody came in and they brought out the sparklers, I lost my shit.
It was good till Jade Cargill got there.
I was like, this is hilarious. I was like, this is the best. I was like, because right, everybody's always saying, oh, he loves his pyro, right? We've said it on multiple episodes here at All Elite Podcast. Cody loves his pyro, and then they're like, yeah, you got pyro, and it's like the sparklers. Like, I lost my shit. I was like, this is great. And you're right. I like those episodes have been good, and this was just a hot mess. I saw somebody tweet it out, and they were saying like, oh, Cody with Brandy. That's not Brandy. Like.
Wow. No, you didn't.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
they did it as clickbait. Like, they legit posted it as clickbait.
Oh, no.
I'm like, this is sad. Like,
yeah, it was good up until that point. Like, Britt is great. Like, she's a star, man. Like, her promo work has gotten so much better as a heel. Like, she's one of those women I think you should stay a heel. She should never be babyface again. Unless she learns to cut better promos babyface, she's an incredible heel. She plays such a better heel. And, you know, that whole thing was great. Up until when Jade Cargill came in there, I'm like, oh no. I could tell. You could tell that it was going to be a dumpster fire, and it was horrible. Everything that transpired after she got there, I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm being blunt here and very negative, but you kind of have to be. You kind of can't really sugarcoat this. She's awful on the mic, Jade Cargill. Absolutely horrible. And then they had to pull a 180 because Brandy got pregnant, and they had to add in, Red Velvet, which Jade and Red Velvet doesn't do me any justice. Like, it doesn't sell. She keeps mentioning Shaq. Like, are they doing something with Shaq, or is it a different person named Shaq? Like, what's going on with that? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing with Jade Cargill? Like, she's been here for over a month, and they've done nothing but, like, backstage beatdowns and these awkward interviews with Cody Rhodes, and this week was just another layer of awfulness. Like, you're trying to debut this girl who, I mean, don't get me wrong, fantastic shape, incredible bodybuilder type body, could probably work in the ring, and she's gorgeous, so
beautiful,
but she's awful in the mic. she's terrible, and whatever, all these things that they're doing with her are awful. Like, what are you doing? If this girl's going to be like a leading girl in your division or be a impact in your division, what are you doing?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be like a permanent.
They're not really doing well with her. It's almost, I can kind of compare it to like how they debuted the Dark Order. It wasn't done properly. So what they're doing with her, they're kind of debuting her not properly. And I almost imagine that they're going to have to re-debut her.
It's only going to go up, right? We talked about
I hope so. I really hope so. Don't get me wrong, guys. I am not trying to be too negative. I hope it goes up from here.
I mean, it's just to bring in like more people, and then it's like another gorgeous chick, and she looks amazing. And it's true though, like a lot of us weren't behind a lot of ideas that started from the beginning of All Elite. And hopefully it gets better, but I'm just not, for me, this should be on Dark. Like, I just don't care.
I almost feel like they should have kept this for Dark, get her feet wet.
Yeah.
Get her, get some mic training done there, kind of like test things out on Dark instead of just pushing it to Dynamite. Because everything they've done on Dynamite with her has just been, it hasn't been clicking. It's just been like that whole thing was awful. Like, I didn't enjoy any of it. The whole, like, the random people running out of nowhere. Just like, where did you guys come from?
This segment should have been on Dark this week, I feel like. Yeah. Like, like you said, they debuted it on Dynamite finally, and like this just wasn't the one to debut.
Like, I know they had to pull 180 too. This is another 180 because remember, it was originally supposed to be Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. They were supposed to have their match, but they kind of stopped that, which I'm gonna assume nothing's wrong with Thunder Rosa.
No, she was exposed to somebody that has corona.
Was.
Yeah.
I missed
so
that.
She's quarantined. So that's why also that you saw like the video that she did on screen.
I thought they just kind of like said, no, you know what, we're gonna move this because we want this to be on.
That's why I got put.
Thing.
She was exposed to somebody who has coronavirus.
Well, hopefully she doesn't get it. But now their match is I saw Beach Blast, which is happening in February, which it'll be interesting. So it's basically like a special Dynamite 2 or 3 weeks before Revolution, I think it's 3 weeks before Revolution. So I'm excited for that. That'll be cool. Again, yeah, it's just what a mess. I don't know what else to say to that. Like, just a mess. What'd you think of? Sorry, I'm rubbing my eye here. What'd you think of? What's it called?
Chuck and Miro.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna go there, but I mean, they went from being, but they, last week they mentioned Young Lion, but now this week they're like Butler. So I'm like, oh man, a Young Lion would have been a lot cooler, like at ringside for a Miro match.
No, but like it's got to be something new. But I'm mentally checked out of this whole storyline. I really am just checked out of it. I mean, it'll probably be funny to see. Like next week, we'll probably see on Dynamite like some funny stuff that like Chucky has to do. But I don't know. I think as a whole, like I'm just checked out.
Yeah.
So okay, so we're gonna move on from that.
I want to talk about Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt against FTR. That was a good match. That was a sweet match.
I feel like I know I asked you this last night that I was like, how would you feel like if Jungle Boy was on a single run? Because I really feel like he needs a singles run. And it's funny, somebody said in the chat, on our Facebook chat, Brian says, I'm personally worried that the storylines are still building and many stars are being left off the show. I think they need another weekly show on television to work in more of the roster. So, I mean, this is something that I've been saying in the sense that people aren't being used. So, I don't know, like, and then, like, I want all these things, but you can't squish everything into 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know, like.
Oh, the entrance theme, that was cool. That's really sick. I love that. I love that. I think it's Mikey too. I'm pretty sure he did it as well. Mr. Mikey Ruckus, who does excellent work. He actually has a new album. His album is dropping tonight. So make sure you guys go and support Mikey and purchase his album. But like, entrance music aside, the match itself I thought was really well done. I was a little hesitant with this match going into it because I didn't know how FTR would work with, Jungle Boy style, even Marco Stunt's type of style, but they worked really well. Like I thought this was probably my favorite match of the night, to be honest. Really? I really liked it. I was all for it, and I think they did a really good job. Jungle Boy singles run though, it's tough. Like how do you break him away from the other two? And what do the other two do without him?
I don't know. It's just like, I feel like Jungle Boy's going to be a star, but I get it. It's just like not now. And I think eventually like he will. And I would love him to be in like mid-card.
He's got so long to become a big star.
That's me. Like, again, like that's just me. But again, like between Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt, I watched in the indie scenes before they signed to AEW, so like I know what they're capable of doing. So I would just like to see that because I feel like there's so many tag teams, and I get it. They're focusing on tag teams, but again, not everybody's being used. And that drives me crazy. There's only like so much that can be used. Like we just talked about Ortiz and Santana, and it's like, well, why aren't they wrestling? Or I know a lot of people are not behind the Acclaimed. Like a lot of people do not like the Acclaimed.
Well, where do you put them? Like you mentioned like Santana and Ortiz. Like what do you replace? What do you replace? What match do you replace? You know what I mean?
Women's division.
No, you can't say that because you were an advocate. You can't.
Until the women's division gets better, then yeah.
But then it can get better if they don't get on TV.
What about Dark? No, I'm kidding. But like, I don't know.
It's
like,
only a 2 hour
because
show.
We haven't really been getting it. Like, I feel like we haven't really been getting any storyline with a lot of the women. So put them there. Like we didn't like the whole Britt Baker thing, the waiting room. Mm-hmm. So that could have replaced it.
Okay.
But it's me again, like everybody has their preference, right? Like
it's
me, I've learned to love tag team wrestling a lot more for AEW. I feel like depending on promotions, it really is like fitting. So me personally, like I want to see really good tag team wrestling. You really built a hardcore tag team division. So but again, like
tag team wrestling.
What?
We do see it though.
No, I know.
You kind of talk like we don't see it at all. We just see. We literally just talked about a tag team match.
Okay, then take away 3-on-3 matches because I don't need to see 3-on-3. Then I can just see regular tag team.
3-on-3 is okay when they do it properly, but anything above that, I say no. Anything above 3-on-3, like 3-on-3 is decent. Anything above 3-on-3, absolutely not. It's just they have a hard time grasping that. But they do a lot of tag teams. They have tag team matches every week.
No, I know. I'm not saying like that we're not getting enough. You asked me like, what would I take out? And Bert said in the chat, I need to see more Top Flight. I 100% agree with him.
Yeah, where have they been?
They're coming back next week.
Okay. I just like where they've been on Dynamite itself. Like they had that big debut and they looked promising, and then that was it. I don't know if one of them got injured or what.
They're wrestling. Who are they teaming up with? And there's like Private Party and Matt.
Oh, that was the Negative One's birthday match. So it's Negative One's birthday next week, Brody Lee's son, and he got to book a match again, which is really cool. Tony Khan is just such a nice guy, man. He's letting Brody Lee's kid book matches. Like
that's nice.
That's incredible.
Yeah, see, April said 8 versus 8 matches are killing me. So take that out.
I said that. I just said that. I literally just said that. People in the chat, am I wrong? Did I not just say that? I said anything above 3-on-3, take out.
Take it out. Take it out. I don't need it.
Anyways,
I don't need chaotic. And then you know what you should take out? The insane entrances with like 5 minutes to freaking come into the entrance.
Yeah, that's Cody Rhodes though. Like he's got to have his pyro. He's got to have his intro, his prelude. He's got to have Justin Roberts make sure it's the longest entrance name in the history of wrestling. Anyways, it's him. That's him. What'd you think of Darby and Brian Cage? I saw a lot of mixed reactions with that. A lot of people were claiming that Brian Cage got buried, which I thought watching that match that Brian Cage dominated literally 90% of the match. So I'm like, how did he get buried?
He killed Darby. He did kill him, but I get what people are saying because it's like he keeps losing, right? And like he's a monster. So he should be winning, right? But I just couldn't get behind this match.
Man, Darby is going to be hurting by the time he's like 35. I'm just saying, like by the time he gets to like
he's 30.
He's 30, yeah. He's going to be hurting.
He's 30, like
he's got to calm down.
He's crazy, but he's always been crazy. I've seen him before. He's just crazy. I couldn't believe when Brian Cage just like tossed him over the ring into the table. I was like oh my God.
He's got to calm. Doesn't he now have to calm down? I know he comes from a skater past and he has got all these skater injuries and, skating injuries hurt more than wrestling injuries. But like, buddy, like by the time you're not going to be able to walk by the time you're 40. Like, do you want that to happen?
Yeah.
Like, he's got such a big future. I think he's kind of need to tone it down. I know that's him and what he's about. Like when he did that coffin drop and Brian Cage is on the steps, I thought Brian Cage was going to move out of the way, one. So I'm like, oh, God, here we go. Brian Cage is going to move out of the way, and Darby Allin's going to land on his back on the steps. Like, remember when he did that with the Cracker Barrel?
Yeah. Was it all out?
Oh, just like cringe.
I just couldn't. Like I said, this was just, it did nothing for me, this match. Like, again, it's just me. Some people liked it. I didn't care for it. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, the one thing is
the belt is gorgeous, though.
Yeah, the new belt looks beautiful. Yeah, the black strap and everything. I think it looks really well done. The one thing we can look forward to, though, that's I guess you can progression here because I want to know what's going on with this elite thing. So they advertised the Elite was going to return or have their, a match. But then he called out Don Callis called it the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers had a match instead. But they didn't really give us to any reason like why the Young Bucks didn't come out. You know what I mean? They came out later, but there's nothing about like why they didn't come out when the Good Brothers were called out and, kind of get in their face. They didn't come out till the end, and, there really wasn't that much deception. But now the Lucha Brothers are involved. Like, now the Lucha Brothers done with the whole Pac and everything situation, and now they're getting their feet wet in here. Now Moxley's in this thing as well. Like, are they doing another Kenny Omega Moxley match again? Or are they going to do the Elite versus, like, is it going to be Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers against maybe eventually Moxley and the Bucks? Maybe that's going to be the Revolution match? Because I don't think the Bucks are fully on. I don't think they're fully band back together. You know what I mean? Just from the whole thing they did with Don Callis, calling it like boosting them up, making it seem like it was the Young Bucks, but saying the Good Brothers instead. I think that's going to touch a nerve, and I think we're going to get something next week where they show it touches a nerve with the Young Bucks, and there's going to be a little bit of deception. I think it's going to build. And I think at Revolution, we're going to get Moxley and the Bucks versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. And that's going to be an insane tag team match. That's going to be very good.
Let me ask you something, because I meant to ask you this before.
Unless you do it at thing. What's that Dynamite called? Beach Blast. I keep forgetting. I want to call it Bash at the Beach, but it's Beach Blast. Was
last night the first night Kenny came out of the heel tunnel? Because I think that was last night was okay. No, I thought it was last night.
No. I've been paying attention. Trust me, I pay attention to that.
Much. Yeah.
All right. But he will be appearing with the Good Brothers on Hard to Kill this Saturday, guys. Make sure you support Impact Wrestling. Purchase the pay-per-view, because I will be on Saturday. I'll be watching my boy Kenny facing against Rich Swann and Motor City Machine Guns. That's going to be a sweet match. Can't wait to watch that pay-per-view on Saturday. And watch Kenny in it wrestling in an Impact ring. Like, that's going to be, like, that should get you to buy the pay-per-view itself. Like, watching the AEW World Champion wrestle on another show's pay-per-view with the title belt. Like, it's what got people to watch, him in AAA against Laredo Kid, and him against Ray Phoenix in AAA. It's cool to support other wrestling companies out there. So
that's the thing?
Yeah, it's the thing. Especially ones that we're working with clearly. And, there's been the talks about maybe that they're building towards the Blood and Guts match. Is it going to be the AEW versus Impact? Like, is that what they're going to do? Who knows? But I don't think anything else happened in Dynamite that I missed.
No, I think we hit everything that we wanted to hit. I think I got
everything. Anywho, so it's been a good episode, guys. I hope you've seen the catchphrase. It popped up on screen like I said it would. Make sure you grab that catchphrase and you go on over to our Twitter account. Follow the All Elite Pod. You must be following the All Elite Podcast to be entered in this contest. Make sure you're following and you're tweeting out the catchphrase. You're tweeting out with hashtag AEP and hashtag All Elite Podcast. Then you guys, again, on Monday, I will do the fan contest drawing live here on YouTube for whoever wins the $100 gift card. I do want to give a big special shout out to our boy and No Holds Barred Network patron, Kilroy, who's donated the gift card. Buddy, you're the man. Just saying. You are forever fan of the year with AEP. I know we used to do that a long time ago, but for doing that, you really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for doing that. You have no idea how it means the world to me and Tiff. And again, anything you want us to do, man, you hit us up. You want to come on the podcast one day, you hit us up. Again, thank you so much for that. So shout outs to you, Kilroy, for letting us do this. It's amazing. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed everything in this celebration episode. Me and Tiff are going to be going harder than ever in 2021 with this podcast as it continues to grow and go more than just 2 years of this podcast. We're not ending here. We're only getting bigger and we're only growing as the days go on with this podcast. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the second anniversary of the All Elite Podcast. Again, make sure you guys are following the Twitter account, which is at All Elite Pod, and it'll come up here on the bottom of the screen if I can get it to show. Come on, little lower third thing there. Come on, there you go. Follow the podcast at All Elite Pod. Make sure you're following the network as well at NHB Network. Follow myself at Real Kyle Masters. You can follow my co-host at Loves to Dream 82. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live here on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, however you're watching this podcast every Thursday night on here. We are live doing this podcast, so make sure you guys tune in each and every single week. And thank you to those who tune in. Any of you audio listeners out there, yes, I didn't forget about you guys. Thank you so much for downloading the episode and tuning in. We have now ventured off of Spreaker, by the way. We figured out some things with that. We're now on Anchor. If anyone knows the Anchor, No Holds Barred Network is available on Anchor, which still distributes to everywhere else. We got the RSS feeds and everything hooked up as well, so they'll be still going into wherever you're listening to podcasting. And you audio listeners out there, you the bomb. Thank you for downloading the episode and listening back with us each and every single week. Listen to me and Tiff ramble on about AEW each and every single week. It's much appreciated. But Tiff, I got nothing else to say. Do you want us to end off with anything?
Yer.
Yer.
Thank you guys so much for everything. So if it wasn't for you guys, we would be nothing.
Literally,
so.
If it wasn't for you fans out there, me and Tiff would not. I don't even think we'd make it to 2 years. But you guys literally keep us coming back every single week, discussing with you guys in the chat. We love you guys interact with the chat. We try to read as much as possible and get it into our discussions. It's what makes this community amazing, and what makes it continuing to grow is the interaction with this podcast as it continues to grow. We want to interact with you guys as much as possible. You're the point to this podcast. We are a fan podcast by fans for the fans. That's exactly what we do here in the All Elite podcast. So, thank you very much for that. So other than that, it's going to wrap it up here. Make sure you guys tune in back here next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right back here on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, however you're watching, for the next episode of the All Elite Podcast. I'm your host, as always, your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the woman of many nicknames. She is the AVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, and the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany. Oh, God, voice cracked there even more. But we'll see you guys right back here next week for the next episode of the All Elite Podcast. Take care. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.